Texas, I'm coming home, my heart beats for you still.
The following is an exclusive interview with Grady Ray, a musician, singer-songwriter, and bass guitar virtuoso based out of Austin, Texas. Grady performs regularly with A Live One, a Phish tribute band, PanicStricken, a widespread Panic tribute, the Eddie Robbins Band, Outlaws of Funk, and the Grady Ray Band.
Grady Ray, how you doing, man?
Coach, I'm wonderful, man. How you
Cool.
doing?
Good.
Awesome.
Man, I'm a big fan. I've seen you perform before.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Where were you born, Grady?
Out West Texas, kind of by Abilene,
Okay.
Midland, that kind of area out there. Both
yeah.
my parents were in the Army, so there's an Air Force base out there that they were stationed at. So
I see.
that's why we were there when I was younger. Got a little brother who was born in Germany for the same reason. We moved from San Angelo then to where my mom was from in Muncie, Indiana, and that's where that's where I grew up till about 10 years ago, and moved on back down to Austin.
So tell me about your music background. Like, do you have any formal training? Are you self-taught?
Man, I had one lesson with a guy. So I guess it started out. I was in like 6th grade with my buddy, and we went to the pawn shop. We bought whatever guitars our mom would allow us to get from down there. I think I had like an $80 P bass that was up there, a little Squire, and we just kind of just started playing. We liked I don't know. We liked old school rock and roll. Yeah, from that it was a lot of punk stuff. It was a lot of kind of Rage Against the Machine kind of stuff. And then we started smoking pot and got way into the Grateful Dead and all that kind of music around there, man. So just
So
kind
that
of
was the beginning of your jam band interest.
yeah, I guess kind of towards the end of high school. Had some friends who were always playing it, and I was like, hey, find some songs like this is pretty cool. Phish had just got back together pretty shortly after I graduated high school, so I was about 19 and went to go see them.
Where was your first Phish show?
It was at Deer Creek Music Center in Noblesville, Indiana.
Nice.
I've seen many shows there. I've seen Tom Petty there, Santana, John Mayer, saw Leonard Skinner, Steppenwolf, Bachman Turner Overdrive, a whole bunch of bands there.
Did you ever see the Dead perform live when Jerry was alive?
I did not, no. So I was about 5 years old when Jerry died.
Okay.
Didn't even know that the Grateful Dead existed. I don't think my parents had much of an idea of their catalog, So
Probably most people in the Army in Indiana aren't that aware of the Dead. I mean,
it's true, yeah. They had other stuff they were into,
right.
definitely.
So bass was your first instrument.
It was, yeah. I've always, since I was a kid, had just massive hands, and playing guitar was tough for me, just with the dexterity of it and everything. I got a bass first, and I was like, it fit me, and I liked it. I liked the rhythm of it. I liked the kind of the bottom end of everything. And I remember my mom saying to me one time, she said, we were at like Applebee's or something, listening to the radio. And there was just a bass line that was just going do 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 in the song. She was like, "That's what you want to do?" And I was like, "Yeah, but I don't think you grasp like the what it actually is."
Right.
And lo and behold, here we are these days. And they were just in town this week. Actually, got to see me play on Monday night, and they never thought when I was just palling around in Indiana that we could be making some really, really good music down here and playing with some fantastic players. So it's great.
Well, speaking of playing with fantastic players, I've seen you play with A Live One.
Yeah.
I've seen you play with PanicStricken.
Yeah.
This will be my first time seeing you as the Grady Ray Band.
Right on. Yeah.
It's those three. Any other projects you're involved in?
Yeah, so my good friend Eddie Robbins, he's here out with us today. He's got a solo band. He's written a whole bunch of songs. I play pretty regularly in his band. We've got a residency every Tuesday night at 7 Grand downtown, and then we play every other Monday at Half Step with that band too. So pretty busy with that one. Both of us, we also play in another group called the Outlaws of Funk. We don't play as often, but we kind of get hired for like parties and things like that, like private events. We play a lot of frat parties for UT when they're going, corporate events, things like that. But we basically combine outlaw country with 70s funk and soul classics, and just find a little sweet spot in between those. It's fun, man. It's a lot of fun. Yeah, a lot of that old outlaw country. It's just like, it's one slight thing away from being a funk groove, basically, too, you know, so.
Are you exclusively working in the music industry, or are you doing some other, like, day job type stuff?
I own my own business, Handy Hippie LLC, so I do some small contracting jobs, some, like, handyman stuff on the side.
I've been listening to a lot of Merle Haggard this week, and, you know, there's just a lot of overlap between roots American music
Absolutely.
and the working man and the lifestyle of the working man.
Absolutely, man. It's you know, it's relatable. It's relatable for the majority of people, and the majority of people going out to see music are people who got to go to a day job the next day. They don't get to do this every single night. They don't get to, you know, like that one time seeing you play music is maybe the only time they're going to see music this year. You know?
And, you know, or it may just be the thing that gets them through their week.
Exactly.
They have on the calendar to look forward to that pulls them forward in life.
Well, and I think about it too, because I've had this happen just a lot with playing downtown, playing around 6th Street, playing around just areas where people come from out of town to come see music. And this scene here, like, we're so fortunate in Austin. Yeah. There's always something going on, you know what I mean? Like, there's always going to be gripes and stuff about pay and all this stuff, but at the epicenter of it is really, really talented musicians.
Yes.
Who make fantastic music any given night of the week. And I remember this from living in Indiana, and this is the reason I moved here, is because you can't go out and see that all the time. And here in Austin, you can go and see it all the time.
All the time. It's just everywhere.
Yeah, and we take it for granted sometimes here, but like the people who come in, they're just like, this is the best music I've ever seen. And you kind of laugh it off because you're just, you know, you're hanging out with your buddies just doing what you'd normally do on a Monday night.
Yeah.
And it affects somebody's life like that. It makes people so happy. That's the 100% why we do it.
So with your pursuit of music, would you describe yourself as somebody who practices a lot, has really studied a lot, or are you more of a natural and kind of an intuitive player?
I have an ear for stuff. Okay. Like, I've always had an ear. I've been able to sing since I was a little kid. I always had an ear for stuff, and I always had rhythm. Like, I would always kind of be drumming around and do. So, like, with bass, it was easier for me. The way I learned was just to listen to something and just work it out with my hands. I'm a feel guy. I'm like, hey, does this sound right? Something's off with this. Hey, you know. If it feels right, it feels right. Being able to do it by ear is the most fascinating thing to me, and it's the most rewarding thing that you can do. So, yeah.
When you're not preparing for a show or developing your own music, what do you like to listen to?
It honestly, it varies on the day. I have a very eclectic music taste. I've been into so many different kinds of music, been able to meet people who've let me experience music of different cultures and things like that. It's a mood thing for me. Like, one day we'll be in the morning and we'll say, hey, this feels like a King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard day. Just hard driving Aussie rock and roll. Another day you're like, man, I'm kind of into some D'Angelo, or some Erykah Badu or something like that. Other days it's a Houston rap day where we're going around, blaring UGK and the stuff. I like everything, man.
So, since I've never seen your band, the Grady Ray Band, just tell me a little bit about it. Like, what's this band about for you?
This, man, I've always enjoyed writing songs. My whole life I've been a bass player, so it's been somebody else's band or been like a different focus with the band. So I just have like had a song or two here and there that I've sprinkled in or sang. Everybody's always kind of told me, they're like, man, we'd like to hear you sing more. We want to do this. So I've got from many other bands that I've played in over the years, I have all these songs that I've written. We're sitting on probably like 12 or 13 solid originals that are show ready. It's a little bit Americana. It's a little bit of some funk jam band stuff in there. It's a little bit of outlaw country. It's a little bit of just hard driving rock and roll too.
We're going to broadcast this to the world. I don't know who's going to listen to this, who's going to see this. This might be up for 30 years up online once we get it cut together and post it. So is there anything that I haven't asked you about or that you just want to talk about, whether it's yourself, life, the world, music? Just what do you want to say to the world, Grady?
I want to say to the world that I've come into myself by being the greasiest gator known to man. And if all of us can release the grease inside of ourselves, we can have a real good time and we can do some wonderful things together. So keep on greasing, America.
Cool, man. Grady Ray, appreciate you, brother.
Dude, thank you so much,
Looking
man, for
forward
having
to your
me.
show, man.
Awesome.
I don't know how much I better
There's something about the sea that Texas can't aside, knowing that you're home again.